Hello everyone, welcome back to the Lord of the Rings Online. This is Gnarlo here. Say hello to everyone, Gnarlo. Good boy. When last we left off, we were standing here at the picturesque overlook, looking across the terrain of Angmar here, the blighted and forbidding land of the Witch King in the north. We were right down here at this Turn League, I believe is how you say it, looking out to the outpost of the hillmen here, the few men who are still on the side of the free peoples here in the northern area of Angmar, and looking across the horrible blighted swamp of Malinhad. Now, when we left, we were given Book 6, Chapter 3, Secret of the Stones. Yes, Secret of the Stones. And we have been set forth to see if we could get a rubbing. There are some evil stones scattered about here in Angmar which have a horrible curse upon them and kill you whenever you get too close to them. They form a border defense along the line of the swamp and prevent you from going any further into the lands of the Witch King. But the ranger who gave us the quest said that there were lesser stones scattered about that we should be able to get a rubbing off of. As you see here, the swamp is full of horrible creatures, various types of bog lurker and insects, and these iron scale turtles here, which are quite dangerous and deadly creatures. Now, I do believe that the actual, I think right along in here is where the line is, that the line of deadly statues. So we're going to try and get a bit closer to them. Right here's the rally point for this part of Angmar, should you meet an untimely defeat while you're out here in the swamp. We're going to go, that's an interesting shadow. We're going to continue along the line this way until we see the actual line of the fell statues that cause such issues for people trying to approach and pass them. Hopefully they will actually pop into our view, unlike the monsters that tend to pop in as we get a little too close to them. Hopefully the statues will pop into view before that. There's one right there as you see it. So we're going to get a little closer to them. You'll know when you're too close whenever you start getting burst of dread. Try to get past these creatures without attracting their attention. Alright, there you go. Another bunch of the evil turtles. Right there, as you see, there's a line of them. They form a fence all the way across here. And if you try to go north across in through some of the other passes, there are these fell statues that will cause the same evil, crippling, debilitating, deadly dread to come upon you. And let's see if we can get closer to them and I can show you the actual effect that they have on you. You see, they are not at all the prettiest things, and they form quite the effective barrier. Now, if you'll watch up here as I get close, you'll see the dread start to hit me, and we'll probably get an effect over here on the mini-map too, because they are quite powerful. And the fireworms are going yellow as we get close. There we go. As you see, the effect is coming in. Evil Presence, Fear of 80, 132 shadow damage every 4 seconds. See, we're getting the red here. Yes, we need to definitely get away from them. We are getting some Lord of the Nazgul levels of dread appearing on us. And if you continue to get closer or tried to pass them, that dread would defeat you and you would go back to the rally stone. So, we are not going to be able to continue on this way. Let's look at the map right quick. So yeah, we're right here. The Ramas Deluan is what the line is called. Rames's wall, or I think Ramas means wall, so that is the wall of statues that prevent you from traveling further on in. So we need to see if we can find one of these lesser statues now. That was our mission, to see if we can find that, get the charcoal rubbing off of it so that they might find a way of defeating the evil dread. Now, having thought about it some, I'm thinking that we can travel along the road that we first came down here on to our outpost. Let me hit and pull up the map right quick. Right ahead of us here is the outpost, and here's the road we travel down. I'm thinking if we travel further up this way, circle around the northern part. Like I said, you won't be able to go through here because, number one, there is a Angmarum fortress up there, and there is also another one of those dread statues blocking off. But I think there is a lesser statue like close to the entrance of it. And that might be what we need to see if we can find. So let us circle back around, get around all these evil various beasts and all. Come back by Tiernlug. Travel further north, back the way we came. Haven't seen any platinum yet. Plenty of dwarf iron about in these parts. Should be platinum around here too. I think that's what comes along with the dwarf iron. And remember the Angmarum up here. This was where in our last episode we got a little bit of pop in, and the next thing you know, I was surrounded by a couple of them. First time in the zone, things weren't quite wanting to load in on a timely manner. There could possibly be one up this way too. Getting the evil Angmar sky showing up. Said, you know, the Iron Crown fighters and all. There could possibly be one up that way, but we'd have to get past all those things. All those beings there, the various Angmarum fighters and Iron Crown warriors and all. And I believe if we just follow the road here. Now right here is how we came in. If you follow this back, it eventually takes you, turn left here, you eventually follow it all the way back. Whoops, pointing the wrong way. Follow it here, it eventually takes you all the way back, first to this campsite, and then if you continue on, it takes you back over here to Oghair, which is where we first entered into Angmar and where that ranger that sent us on this mission is. So that's the way we came in, and then turned right and went that way. So instead, we're going to turn north, follow the road up this way. And I do believe there should be a lesser stone along the entranceway here at this pass. Lebathron branches, okay. Possibly sitting right up here on the other side of this ruined wall. Let's see what we find. can't remember. Yeah, there we go. A lesser watching stone. Thought I'd turned off the bounding boxes here, but anyway, you get to see where the extent of where the dread hits you. So why don't we dismount? We're gonna go into sneak, and we're gonna see if we can't get closer to the lesser watching. Ooh. And good to know that the fear and dread affect you that way. Alright, we're gonna use our rubbing on it. We've collected the watching stone rubbing now. And as you see, we are taking damage from it. And I dare say that if we stayed within the perimeter there and stayed close enough to it, it could kill us too. It's just that it's not going to kill us as fast as the greater stones out there are. And I would take you, as you see, it continues on. You can just see part of a fortress and a wall peeking around there, part of a gateway. You have to go through a bunch of these various goblins, and then you start running into the Angmarim and the Iron Crown fighters again. And right in the middle of the walkway further along is one of the greater stones. And just like the ones out there in the swamp, it will kill you. So we are going to head back now. A short run down the path, turn right, and we will follow it back over to Angmar. Okay, we have returned to Angmar here. We are passing through the gate. Looking back over the blighted landscape here. And the ruined fortresses on the hills. So we have traveled all the way back to right here. Alright, let us continue on up. Just off to the right, right up here, should be the crafting area. And the Ranger Coroner should be right down within, inside this tent, I believe. And we can tell him that we have succeeded in getting the rubbings off one of a lesser stone. Let's see what he has to say.
How can I be of service?
You have returned. Did you bring the rubbing? Good. Let me see it.
How can I be of service?
These runes are of an elvish mode, but the language is the black speech, in which I am not well versed. But I do know a little, and can see that these runes speak of a heart located within the stone. Perhaps if I could study one of the stone hearts, a way to undo the spell upon them can be found. There are some lifeless stones east of here, from which you may collect such a heart without fear. Bring me a stone heart as quickly as you may, so that we may be done with our duty. So collect a heart from a lifeless watching stone. Alright. So as difficult as finding one of the lesser stones was, now we have to find one of the lifeless stones. Okay. So just east of here, he says. Alright, we are going to look down in this area. I don't think we'll have to travel actually back into the Malinhad. What do they call this? The Fassac-Lauren. I think here in the Fassac-Lauren, perhaps, is where we'll find one of the lifeless stones. I don't think he put them up here. No. Okay. Just checking to be sure. And follow this little path just to be sure up this direction as well. Want to have exhausted all the easy possibilities. Here's your rally stone for this area, by the way. Should we become defeated while we're out here on the doorsteps of Angmar, because we certainly can't say that we've gone very far into the territory. Alright, let's start looking for one of those lifeless stones. I'm going to search the entire area close. Oops. Close to Angmar first. And this place is, as I remember, very overwrought with the various wargs and maddened hill beasts here. Oops. Let's see if we can get away from those. I think we should be able to outrun them. But we're going to keep, apparently, aggroing more as we go along as well. Unfortunately, these are the sneaky kind. And a barrow? The Halls of Night. I don't remember this being here. Whoa. Don't want to go running into it right now. I don't remember the Halls of Night being here. I want to see if we can sneak up to it. Just in case, like the barrows over in the Barrow Downs. New deed. Discovered the Halls of Night. Obviously, I have not been here and it was not here before. Completed. Discover the Halls of Night. 10 turbine points, 3 distilled athelas. Does it tell us what it is? Discover. You have discovered the Halls of Night. Alright, this is apparently an instance. And the turbine points. Okay. And it's actually going to let us enter it. Why don't we see? Specific, the Halls of Night. It doesn't give us any information about it, though. I can only imagine that it must be an instance similar to like the Great Barrow over in the Barrow Downs. Because it's obviously a barrow here. I think at one time there was maybe a camp of Angmarum sitting here, if I remember correctly. Or perhaps some goblins or something. Because yes, as you see by the pop-up, the deed, this is brand new to me. Okay, let's continue looking. See if we can find one of those dead stones. I want to say maybe in here. That's where we'll check next. Down around that ruined fort and in the valley there. I'm going to go into sneak mode. Just to avoid any of the more obvious unpleasantries that we might come across. I seem to remember a ranger or somebody being around that tree down there too, so if we don't see a lifeless stone up here at this odd looking area, we'll travel back down and see what we can find around that tree. You see, we keep noticing a lot of hidden, I would imagine, wargs. The evil stalkers and stuff. Whoops. Gnarlo. A named wandering warg that, if I remember correctly, has been moved. Because this guy used to be... I don't think there are two named wargs out here. He used to wander all in that area right over there just after you passed out of Oghair. So apparently whenever you were over there hunting as a low-level 45th, 46th, wasn't low level, but low for Angmar, just at the beginning levels of Angmar here, when you were over there hunting, the other stuff might be white and might be dark blue and white and all to you, and he would be several levels above you. So I guess they moved him over here to as a measure to give them a beginner levels fighting over there, early 40 levels fighting over there, more of a fighting chance perhaps, shall we say. Okay. Well, as we're coming up on him here, he doesn't really... What's he called? Nekthan. I know he's got a quest or something associated with him. I was thinking he might be a ranger, but no, he's one of the hill folk here. Just one that's apparently not associated with Angmar, and I'm not sure if he's associated with Oghair or not. Alright, I'm going to keep looking. As you see right here, we've just searched in this little valley area here, so I'm going to continue up the hill. As you see, the sun is getting low in the sky. It is starting to turn into late afternoon, early evening. Up ahead of us is the camp of LOTRO. Is that how you pronounce the name? Am I remembering the correct one? We'll get past these Skara hunters here, these wargs. And once we're past them, I will come out of sneak. Yeah, LOTRO. No idea if that's being pronounced anywhere near correctly, but I don't hear any of them complaining about it, so I think we're okay. Alright. I am going to try to see if... Can I get up this way? I can. I'm going to travel up this way and see if in these ruins up here there may be one of the dead stones that he talks about. So we're going to give that a try. That is just north from where we are here at the campfire. Start working our way up these ruins here and see what's in them. So we'll see you once we get up into something interesting, or we come across the stone. Okay, we're behind the first one here, and we haven't run into any stones, but we have found some platinum. So I will go ahead and mine that out. So I was correct, you do get platinum in this area as well. So once we can get back into sneak, we'll continue northward. And I'm going to go up the hill into this area now and see what we might find up there. Okay, we've continued further up. We haven't quite got to the ruins I was looking for yet, but at this area I noticed there's one of these bushes here, and when we were down there I saw one very similar to it back behind that wall. So I'm thinking at some point some quest might send us after some plant. Some point, some quest, some plant. Something like that. So we'll know. Let's keep that in our mind and think, that might be something that we are looking for in the future. Let's see if we can get on through these dead, twisted trees. You see the Duvardain. The Duvardain, those are the evil hillmen. The evil counterparts of the guys back there in Oghair. They are the hillmen who work for the Angmarim and work for the Iron Crown sentries and scouts and all these other beasties here. Is that a dead stone? Or is that a living stone? Whoops. Iron Crown scout around the corner. I just tend to think that that's not a dead stone. It's got a border around it. And I would just be willing to bet the dread would hit us as soon as we cross the line. Yes, indeed. That is definitely not a stone with a dead heart. So as soon as we can get sneak back up, we will take out this scout first. Yeah, you're gonna find I'm not quite the defenseless little hobbit you probably thought I was to start with. Alright. Taking out our first Iron Crown minion. And we will continue searching about and looking for these dead stones that they speak of. Let's see if I can get past this scout without being spotted. So, if you see one of these that has, well, in this case, a circle around it, but is flashing, actually, that one does not. This is the Cairn of Honor. Now, if that was one of the ones that we could actually do something about, I would think it would signify it when we put our mouse around it. Plus, we've got this red box. I wish I could turn those off. I thought I already had. It should be in... I'm going to pull this up a second, because this is good knowing. UI settings, combat options maybe. Target skills. Persistent area effect visualization. Ah, there we go. I think we turned that off there. Nope, that didn't do it either. So I thought that would turn off the area effect boxes. We will have to see. I was hoping that was going to be the one, but with it having the red box, I'll just about guarantee you we will get dread when we approach too close. Yep. Let us go ahead and turn sneak back on. There. Okay, we are going to keep looking. Let's see if we can find a dead stone. That looks like a nice evil place. Why don't we go check it out? Head on back down to the road. As you see, we've wandered up into this area, so I'm gonna head on back down to the road that comes from LOTRO here and see if we can find something of the sort along its length. Okay, looking at the map here, you'll see where we are located at. Right there is the trail that leads from LOTRO. If we turn right, that takes us back down to the swamp and the Iron Crown and everything back over there. The Malinhad, that would take us back over here to the swamp of the Malinhad and the outpost and all the Iron Crown warriors. Moving further north is the way we're going to go now. Right up there on the hill, as you see off to our left, those towers up there is where we were searching and had our little fight just now. And off to our right, there is another path that leads to another fort of the evil hillmen, and I would assume the Iron Crown warriors as well. And there is a statue. Let's go over there closer to it and see if perhaps, see whether or not it has any sort of, see? Let's see if we can work our way over there. The statue does not seem to have any kind of an effect around it. Yes, it did. That statue did hit us with some dread. So, that's what was confusing me. It didn't show up red. Wasn't flashing red, but it did seem to. It didn't seem to have anything whenever I hovered my cursor over it, other than a sword. I don't know what that sword pertains to. Let me go like this. It does get the berserker. Okay. Don't know why hovering over the statue would give us the berserker, but there you go. Oh crap. those statues have got quite a radius on them. Okay. So this is not where we are meaning to go. I guess we will continue further north. I do remember quite a bit of times out here camping these Duvardain. Can't remember what we were camping them for. I think we were trying to get tokens or badges or something like that off of them that served as faction materials. So we will just follow the road further north. Tor Gelevin. Has this place got a back door to it? It does. See? Yeah, if you're a fan of Spaceballs, you're familiar with the saying that good is stupid, but evil is sloppy. Yeah, sloppy and lazy. You'll find a lot of these fortresses that have little back entrances and things to them that Platinum Mine Fiend that ought to be closed up and protected so that people like me can't come crawling. Okay. I am going to continue looking. Okay, Burzum Pushdug. As you see, we've got Tarkrip warriors and all. It looks like there's a cave entrance right here. Yep. Obviously an orc cave, an orc holdout of the Tarkrip. Right up there is the Cairn of Honor that we came from. You can follow those torches that go right up there to it. Remember that from earlier. Yet we are not seeing any of these dead stones that they talked about. Now let's see where we are on the map, because by now it said east of there. It seems like we have gone quite a distance. Not that I expect quest instructions in Lord of the Rings to be clear cut by any means, mind you. We are recently finding that out. I'm going to search right over yonder. It looks like there's some ruins and stuff. We're finding that out, and when I'm playing with Mind Fiend, we're currently down in a Region outside the borders of Moria, just starting the quest down there that leads you into the quest to get into Moria, start with your first legendary items and that sort of thing. And yeah, I mean, they give you vague instructions saying, you know, some distance to the southeast of here, and by the time you actually find it on the map, you're like northwest of where you were looking. So it can be rather complicated to find exactly where it is they are sending you. Things on the map, but they say east, and by the time you find it, it's actually, I would say, far more to the south than it is to the east, that sort. But all adds to the challenge of the game. Some of these NPCs are a little confused. We are running on up into Blood Dancers and stuff. I'm going to go a little further along this road, continue along with it until we get close to the little city or town of the Iron Crown here that it comes up to. And if we haven't seen a dead stone by then, we will know that we have taken the wrong path and that we need to go back and search closer to Oghair once more. already tell that I was in this area at a much lower level earlier whenever I did these quests with my dwarf Glenoran, because all these light blue wolves and blood dancers and all, the first time I saw them, were all orange and red. The last time that I was in these parts on my dwarf. So I definitely came this way. I've definitely come this way at a much later period in my career on my burglar here. And we should be getting close enough. We should perhaps start seeing some guardians. See, there's another Zoraglug, another wandering named warg. Yeah, we're getting a lot of these hidden wargs and all about, so be very careful about that when you're up in this area. They do seem to want to sneak up on you. Alright, I am not seeing any hint of any of the dead Watchstones. So I think we have come far too far to the north. And looking up there at all those red lights and everything, I think there's probably a good deal of dread totems and stuff up that way. That's what that looks like right there. It looks like some of those dread totems you get in the evil campsites. So what we are going to do, we are here far to the north. I am going to travel on back down. We're going to make our way back down to Oghair, and then next time we join you, we will head up into more in this area and see if we can't find some of those dead stones in this region. So, oh, wait a second. I wonder if the dead stones they talk about are down in this valley. That could be it. When he says to the east, he might not even mean out into this area we came at all. He might mean we need to come down into this area down in here. Anyway, we're going to travel back down to Oghair, and if I don't meet any stones along the way, then I will see you next time back in our little village of our friendly hillmen, and we will work at finding our way to the east from there. You see, even the night sky is horrifying in this, but at least it's not the blood red color anymore. I said Angmar, an evil, nasty, terrible place. And just what you would expect for the home of the Witch King. Alright, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you then whenever we keep looking for these missing stones.